Hello everyone, this is Igor MGTOW and Video Games Today with a live stream, and today's topic is going to be the expansion on Bluesky and other related areas. So as you may know, Bluesky is a platform I've been experimenting with recently, and we've gotten some growth in terms of MGTOW. There's more influence now, but we can do better. Of course we can. So that's what I'm going to try to do now. Also, feel free to leave any comments if you want. In terms of observations, what I've noticed so far with Bluesky is that while it's a sort of liberal place, there is not that many die-hard anti-MGTOWs, which gives us the advantage, because then if there's enough of us, there is not enough of them, which means we win. Sorry about the annoying cars in the background. I can't really control it as much as I would want to anyways. Also, where's the... Okay, yeah, it's connected. I've already connected it and didn't realize it. Sorry. So, you might be wondering when exactly this idea began, and this idea to go to Bluesky was suggested to me a while ago, and I think some in my own circle suggested it, but I haven't really started until when I made my account. Let's see. I'm going to check it out. Turns out I made my account a while ago, at least 4 months ago, if not longer. So yeah, until around then, and since then I've been doing the good work of pushing the MGTOW message overall even there, which is good because the MGTOW message needs to be pushed everywhere. Everywhere on YouTube, to Bluesky, to all other platforms. YouTube, Bluesky, MGTOW.tv, Odyssey.com, Minds, Gab, BitChute, Rumble, Twitter, and even Discord and all the other places. It all needs to be pushed. So we're doing the good work there. And I'm going to say on my end, I'm doing good work in terms of Bluesky. Now, I'm not sure if I've said this again or to be afraid of repeating myself, but the normies absolutely have no idea how anything MGTOW-wise or how anything works in MGTOW and the Manosphere. And the clearest indication of that is going to be my replies here. Hold on, I'm just scrolling. And don't worry, unlike a certain other guy who also does live streams, I'm not going to botch it, so there we go. Now I'm going to screen share. All right, share screen. Hold on, wait, where's the share screen button? We can do better. There has to be a way to do so. No. Stupid. I'm trying to figure out which layout is better for this, because my goal is to share something, and I don't want to share absolutely. There we go. So what I have over here, I'm not sure if you see it well, but I'll just scroll it up so for the benefit of everyone. Oh wait, I got blocked. Can't even see the dude I replied to, so no point. Anyways, I'm going to have to resort to finding one of my own images, but the point of the matter is, the guy basically called Andrew Tate the leader of MGTOW, or the representative of MGTOW, and I basically decided that was wrong. The reason I decided that because it was objectively wrong, as MGTOW has no leaders. MGTOW having leaders would be stupid because it's a lifestyle philosophy resorted around about the individual man. It revolves around the individual man doing individual things. So MGTOW having a leadership structure would be stupid. Anyways, I think I've found the image in question, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to post it in the server for prosperity's sake. For posterity's sake, I'm not really sure exactly. All right, I'm going to remove this since there's no need. Stop sharing. Actually, oh yeah, I need to download it as an image file. I'll do that. Save image as. And it's almost ready. There we go. Finally found it. So basically, the person here was claiming that MGTOW itself has Andrew Tate as its leader or spokesperson, and I basically said that no, it's bullshit, because of course it would be bullshit. It wouldn't. That's simply not how MGTOW works. So in response, they said something like, "Yeah, that's what you lot always do when one of your own is too obviously violent." Same thing with the guy who killed his ex in 2020. We don't even know who that is, so how would that even be related to us? And he says, plausible deniability, and I know the MO, and I consider it bullshit. Do you know why? Do you know why it's stupid? Because Andrew Tate actively shitted on MGTOW not long ago, even in this decade, and even so, MGTOW as a philosophy, as a lifestyle philosophy for men, is not supposed to have an MO, and each actor here is individual. So the fact that they even suggest or had to suggest that there was some kind of an MO is honestly an L on their part, and shows the lack of understanding on the part of normies on how MGTOW is supposed to work. So very simple. So that's one of the challenges we have in it in terms of expanding on Bluesky, is that we have to deal with normies who have absolutely no idea what MGTOW is or how it works, and educating them so that they don't make stupid mistakes like this. I believe this will be possible, this can be done, but there needs to be a lot more effort into it, and I'm one of the people doing it. I'm one of the men providing the effort for this, so that in time, hopefully, Bluesky can be just as MGTOW as even MGTOW.tv is, because that is one of my goals. We should have our own Twitter, our own platform, and I believe this one has promise, despite the current challenges. Anyways, now that I've shared what I needed to share, I'm going to share somewhat what I've done with my profile, because despite being one of the few MGTOWs on Bluesky, sorry for the stuttering, I have done something with the profile there, which is good. I'm going to remove this, remove from studio, share screen. So, as you know, this is currently my profile, and I've managed to actually spread awareness about MGTOW and MGTOW interests, and even responded to some pickup artist nonsense along the way, always pushing the MGTOW message far and wide, because that is the end goal. So I'm demonstrating here personal success in terms of MGTOW and how things are working out there. All right, I've seen 2 viewers. Well, if you're here in the chat, feel free to speak up and say what you think on this endeavor. So I'm also not alone in this effort, because I know another guy who's also making a Bluesky post, and I think if we search the term MGTOW, as we're going to search, we can find other MGTOWs here. I think this is wait, I don't know who that guy is. I'm hoping it's not the guy I think it is, because the guy I'm thinking it is could be Frost, but I don't like Frost Ice Demon, but I think this could be a different guy. Anyways, I do like to see MGTOW expansion, even if it's of MGTOWs I don't like to begin with. I actually don't think this person is Frost. Hold on, let me see. What did I see? Okay. For a moment, I thought I saw Richard Cooper there, and that guy is a pickup artist who I don't wish to see. And also, there are like, I think, other MGTOWs. I'm not the only one, but I intend to be the largest and most significant one, because that is the plan in terms of the expansion on Bluesky. And ultimately, the expansion on Bluesky that I'm pushing and proposing should strive to benefit all of us in MGTOW, so that when we expand on Bluesky, we also get benefits while here on YouTube, on MGTOW.tv, on Twitter, and the like, due to our content being far and wide. MGTOW already is working to be the new normal, the new societal paradigm in terms of how men act and what we essentially do and how we live life. MGTOW is already making progress towards that, especially in the younger generations, which is why we see less marriage. But ultimately, we need to do more outreach. And to do more outreach, we need to be where other people are. And this place also includes, and in this category, it also includes Bluesky. Because ever since Elon Musk buying Twitter, a significant percentage of people have gone to Bluesky. And I believe it is this percentage of people we also want to capture as part of the efforts to expand MGTOW. We need a larger audience. And in building this larger audience, we should strive to advertise ourselves everywhere. Now, I've also invited others. I also will invite others to join this place, but so far I'm the largest and most important account on the platform in terms of MGTOW. Speaking of which, MGTOW and Bluesky. Some of you might be wondering, how exactly did I avoid being censored or terminated or something similar? And the reason for this is that it turns out that Bluesky doesn't actually try to censor MGTOW content, at least not as much as YouTube, but even on YouTube I somehow avoid censorship. So I've so far managed to have a good amount of presence on Bluesky without being terminated or falsely being given a false strike or something. So that is good. Now, I've also to admit I've also haven't spent as much time on Bluesky as I have on other platforms, so I don't have that many years to my name, which means that could also be a factor. But overall, the approach I have done on Bluesky is generally, at least I would like to say, a good one for MGTOW, because we are growing and we are in a better position. Now, the problems that we face, and the problems that we face in general in terms of MGTOW, is the normies do not understand how the philosophy works, do not understand how the manosphere works, and generally make assumptions because of that. For example, I see normies everywhere conflating MGTOWs with incels, MGTOWs with PUAs, claiming Andrew Tate to be the paragon of MGTOW, and same with Myron Gaines and the like. And I'm starting to find it annoying, because if you have been in MGTOW for some amount of time, you should know that the people that are important, the men that are important in terms of content creation, who have historically created good content, are Sandman, Barbarossa, Liberation Y, and Yorkshire MGTOW, in my opinion, as well as many other notable mentions that actually I would also like to add Barbar and Thinking Ape to the list. So there, we have good content creators who create good MGTOW content and don't create slop, and these people, these normies, part of them it being that they've never seen MGTOW, or part of them being willful ignorant, still think Andrew Tate is the representative of MGTOW or the representative of how the philosophy works, and that's just not how it works. So that's one of the challenges we face in terms of expanding and dealing with normies, is them basically being backwards and ignorant in terms of understanding the philosophy. But we'll eventually get there, as we always do. Fortunately, with my video on what is MGTOW, we've managed to create a functioning alternative definition to MGTOW that basically undermines whatever nonsense the Wikipedia is saying about this. I say alternative, not as an alternative to MGTOW itself, because that definition is MGTOW and how it works, in my opinion, but it's an alternative to what the Wikipedia people claim about MGTOW, and so therefore it's good. Now, we should also work towards making the distinction between MGTOW and the manosphere, and the way I propose this being made clear is that MGTOW is seen as within the manosphere, but it's a subset of the manosphere, and the manosphere is the downstream of MGTOW. It's not independent of MGTOW or doing anything else. So that is just my position on things. And so far, wait, I haven't seen a single comment. Let me check the comments to see if something is getting filtered or not. Because I'm surprised I'm not getting comments, even though I should be. But it could be just that it's a bit early for the stream, and things are like this. Alright, and I'm getting notifications from Discord. So yeah, there are no recent notifications. At least not in the live chat, so there we go. And also, in my opinion, the expansion to Bluesky should be part of the general expansion of MGTOW, not a separate endeavor, or not the separation from MGTOW, or anything anything anyone else might think. It's a direct effort of MGTOW to grow MGTOW content, to grow MGTOW influence, so that we are greater and we are stronger. It's not a separation from MGTOW, because the goal is to help promote MGTOW, as much as others may not seem to understand it. I'm currently waiting for the comments. While I'm here, I will probably do some social commentary on things I see in MGTOW and the manosphere as of late. Currently, the way I see it, I do think in terms of MGTOW content that, like I've said in the anti-slop video, there is sadly more slop in terms of MGTOW content, but the other problem that we face is that there's also an injection of outside politics. And what I mean by that is, if you go on, let's say, a Pop Culture Rocks community page, or someone else's, say even Frost Ice Demon, you will see things that are not related to MGTOW, not about MGTOW, and that generally just have not much to do with MGTOW and growing MGTOW. And this, depending on how this continues, will affect our public perception. Now, as a MGTOW content creator, I've always strived to keep my content within the bounds of MGTOW, as in before MGTOW, by MGTOW, and also in addition make tech videos that are useful. So when I go see this and see that it is not related to issues that men face, or with the current implementation of no-fault divorce or Me Too or stuff like it, I kind of question what the point of it is. So if I do comment on it somewhat on my own channel, and if I do respond to that, then that is why. But in general, my approach has been to just not go on any other streams or comment. But the good thing is that I have a channel and I can thus have my own streams if I want. So I've just generally had my own streams, my own Bluesky, my own content, which I'm hoping is good because since like December 2025 to now, I've strived to make as many improvements as possible to my content so that it is presentable, it has good reason to exist, and that it will continue being relevant even after it is uploaded, years after. And 3 viewers in the chat, nice. I'll just leave a message on Discord. So as part of that, I also probably want to do more MGTOW videos in the future because there are some things I want to talk about, including this recent expansion on Bluesky and how it's going. And the things I want to talk about related to MGTOW are that MGTOW is not a monolith and that MGTOW is not political, which is important because the latter topic is one of the topics that many have requested that I make, but ultimately I haven't gotten around to it yet. And the reason this has to be made is that, like I predicted with the quote-unquote normal men thing, people were going to use it to try to claim that, oh, to be a normal man, you have to be this or that. And I think one guy tried to imply that being conservative is the ideal of being a normal man. And that's why I was kind of against it, because I knew what would happen if you try to tie MGTOW to that kind of specific viewpoint. That is not to say I like liberalism or leftism, because that too is problematic, and many in those spaces have been historically unfriendly towards MGTOW. But in general, I have always defended the viewpoint that MGTOW is apolitical, and I continue to defend that viewpoint even today. So, there. Hopefully with the expansion, which will continue, by the way, we will be able to come together and figure out how to explain MGTOW to the normies, how to get them to be on our side if possible, or at least get them to not be anti-MGTOW. I believe this can be easily done. I believe the MGTOW philosophy can explain everything easily, and that the idea that MGTOWs and incels are somehow the same thing are easily debunkable. In fact, I think I've done numerous videos on that topic already, but I think new and more refreshed videos would be better for everyone involved. So as part of the effort, the MGTOW expansion on Bluesky should also be complemented by a general expansion on MGTOW.tv and other platforms, so that if we're terminated on one platform, we still exist on another platform, and vice versa. And we should also make more MGTOW videos, and the MGTOW videos in the style of what Liberation Y was making, so that we continue to grow. Hold on, I'll check my channel stats. Are we growing? I'm not sure how many people are watching. People are just lurking here. Well, regardless, I do think the growth. I'm hoping I'm not sounding incoherent. Anyways, I do think the growth of MGTOW is still possible. And the reason for my confidence, despite what is happening in YouTube, is this. We are becoming the de facto new normal for men in this age, despite YouTube suppression or the things that have been happening to YouTube channels. We're still here. And the fact that MGTOW.tv exists. All of these things leads me into being confident in MGTOW's chances of surviving and prospering. However, the way this can be done, not the only way, but the best way, is if we keep expanding. Just as us preserving ourselves and being in the current status quo is somewhat good for our interests, we also need to expand and gain more men in our philosophy, as in get people who aren't MGTOW to become MGTOW, as that is the goal of nearly every major content creator, including myself. Now, the way this can be done is to simply post more stuff on YouTube and other platforms like I've done, but I feel like that by doing that, given that these platforms are onto us and some men have had even say like 10 or 20 channels terminated already, that might not be fully sustainable. So as part of that effort, I also want to grow our influence on new and promising platforms that I feel like we may have a chance in, and that's why I believe that the growth on Bluesky is worth it, and I'm succeeding in part of it. Because the thing is, despite the liberal bias of Bluesky, we still don't see that many anti-MGTOWs, or even the more problematic ones, the incels or pickup artists. We have a direct line to people there, and if possible, we can get them to understand what our positions are, what our philosophy is like, and why one should advocate and live by said philosophy. So we have a better chance on there than on some other platforms. Now, I'm hoping that with the expansion, we'll see more people, and that more will be done. But I'm hoping. Anyway, people in the chat, am I being coherent here, or am I repeating myself? Because I hope I'm not repeating myself, and I want to do more productive streams. Anyways, now that I've explained the Bluesky thing, I also want to explain other things I have had on my mind. In terms of MGTOW content, as much as I explained it in the anti-slop video, I also want to make my content more like the stuff made by Barbar and Liberation Y and even Thinking Ape, because those are the channels I watch on a near regular basis. Even if Liberation Y, owing to him being dead, hasn't made new content, and Barbar is, I don't know where he is. But Thinking Ape is still making content, and it's still good content that I want to recommend, even if it's on Rumble. And I think it is this kind of content, just as it has helped MGTOW in the past, that it will help us in the future. That is the manosphere, not this Andrew Tate or Myron Gaines stuff. So what we should do in terms of content is to push more MGTOW content, more MGTOW-centric content, more of what we had before, and discourage whatever bullshit Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, and Myron Gaines is doing, because the way to help men is to do the one thing we've always been good at doing, teaching men how to avoid ever dealing with the problems of relationships and marriage in the first place. But the way to do this is MGTOW content, not Andrew Tate or Myron Gaines bullshit or this or that course, but pure MGTOW content. And the reason it's good is that, unlike these things, MGTOW content is not some course that you shill for money, but it's free for everyone, and it explains things in a very simple and very coherent manner. Basically, all you need to succeed in life is MGTOW and a solid understanding of the MGTOW philosophy, which is something that you can get for free, and something that we should keep it that way, and something that should be spread far and wide. I've also considered, as part of this effort, translating some of the stuff I've been doing in MGTOW to the Serbo-Croatian language, in hopes that this will gain even more men, in hopes that this will convince even more men to be MGTOW, because that would be the good thing to do. By convincing others to be MGTOW, as much as I sound like a broken record, we benefit because our philosophy is larger, and because we'll also have more content creators. More content creators leads to naturally diverse content and diverse opinions of thought, instead of being monocentric. Instead of there being a specific dogma or specific viewpoints on things, with the MGTOW philosophy, if there are more men, and if it grows to be the representative of the state of the average man in the West, and not only that, but in the entire world, we'll have diverse perspectives, diverse content, and we'll actually innovate. And innovation is good because innovating is how we succeed and how the content is made better for the next generation. Because what worked in, let's say, 2010 or even 2015 or something can go stale in 2026. And the problem with AI is that we see even less innovation. But these are all temporary problems that can be reversed, and that if we succeed in solving, then we would truly benefit from. And my channel is actually an example of that. Despite the fact that there has been use of slop content and AI in such content recently among the rest of what we consider the manosphere, my channel has actually had content improve as time goes on. And I can say that the average video from this year is better than the average video from last year, considerably so, given the new editing techniques and other stuff I have done, though I plan more improvements. And also, I consider the tech videos themselves, though unrelated to MGTOW, to be especially helpful in helping improve it. So it's all going well. Also, with said improvements, my channel's subscriber count has also grown considerably and is not declining. I remember when I restarted doing videos on YouTube, my channel was only like 970 something subscribers, and it's now back, and it's now at 1,153 subscribers. So it's obviously, so things are going well, at least on that front. Now, while my channel has had some strikes here and there, the good thing is that we have had 0 channel termination. So it means that there not a single time was this channel terminated or given a strike of some kind, which means that this channel has an advantage that other channels do not. So that is what I think has going for me, and is why I consider it successful. As for my thoughts, in terms of the expansion, at least in my channel, I do have to put video games back in Igor MGTOW and video games. It kind of doesn't make sense to have a YouTube channel that has video games in the name but doesn't have mentions of video games. So that is an area where I'll admit I'm lacking in, to be honest. And that also points me to the Minecraft server. I should try to host a new server soon enough and solve the challenges that exist with the server hosting, so that I can start doing videos about the server again. Because last server, despite the challenges, was incredibly successful. If you have seen the Minecraft server tour video, you will see how great the server was and how developed at least my base was. So that is something we should be doing. I also plan to post more stuff on Bluesky in relations to that. I also want to see if the one thing I'm curious about is seeing if there's a way to establish a sort of a community or group or thing in Bluesky, and I hope there is. But if it's possible, then that's something I'm looking into doing. With the Discord server that I have now, link is in the description if you want to join. It already has like 30-something people, and that progress can be improved. We can do a lot better than 30 people in Discord, and I feel like the same should be said about Bluesky. As for me, I have about 17 followers on Bluesky, but very few are MGTOWs, and we MGTOWs need to get out there and promote the message, in my opinion, because that is how we reach the people that this message needs to reach. There are still men who haven't heard of the message, who don't know that it is important to avoid relationships and avoid long-term relationships, who don't know that marriage is a trap and effectively a scam, and who just don't know what pitfalls await for them if we don't inform them. Good thing about us is that we have tons of YouTube videos going back over years explaining how the institution of marriage works and why it's bad, but this still needs to reach the people it needs to reach. So that's why I'm doing this expansion on Bluesky. If we expand, we take the first step in our message reaching the men who are there that it needs to reach. We make MGTOW itself bigger, and we reach a wider audience. So that is the benefit. It also fulfills some of my long-standing visions as a content creator. My vision as a content creator has always been to spread the MGTOW message far and wide, spread the message of the MGTOW philosophy far and wide, and how it works and why it's good for you. And I believe that being on Bluesky is how I do this and fulfill this, because I've done a lot of things on YouTube which are positive. I've also done a lot of things on MGTOW.tv which are positive, but Bluesky and or Twitter are the areas that I'm lacking in. And in terms of Twitter, I don't really want to support Elon Musk, so I see Bluesky as kind of the better destination. Now, I'm hoping that if you're listening in this live stream, that you will also make the choice to be on Bluesky or generally promote MGTOW content overall. And if you are, then good for you. But if you haven't exactly been convinced, I want to point out something. Why is it that in terms of MGTOW content, that we are specifically facing channel deletions and not others? And what could we do to mitigate it? The way to mitigate such problems is to not put our eggs in one basket, and YouTube is one such basket. If we put all of MGTOW in one specific basket, should something happen to it, we all face problems. It's not in our interest. But if we are everywhere instead of just being in one place, then we are more immune from that problem. So that is my opinion on this. Helping expand to Bluesky and other platforms is helping avoid the problem of MGTOW content disappearing, because it will be everywhere. And in terms of MGTOW content, not only should we expand, but we should archive it. But we should also archive it wherever possible so it isn't lost. Because, make no mistake, if you check out Sandman's channel, if you check out their channel from like on YouTube, you will see a time period worth of years missing on YouTube. And that content is not missing on Odyssey or BitChute, but I think I've checked BitChute. So, to not lose MGTOW content, especially content that is valuable, we also need to back it up. We also need to make our message in general more presentable in a way that the average person would understand. And what I mean by them is explain to them in their own language why it's better to be MGTOW than not be MGTOW. I believe with the formula red pill, good, blue pill, we already have something that's a good way, that's a good metaphor to explaining things, but we should try to improve, because the problem is the public perception of us at large is still that we're basically like Andrew Tate or Andrew Tate followers, and that's not correct. So the problem, of course, we face is the influence from incels and pickup artists, which is one we have to counteract. But I believe we can do that. I'm also curious to see if anyone here is still watching, what your thoughts on it are. To be fair, I don't think Wait, is anyone even here? I'll check to see if the comments are not being filtered. Oh, and 2 likes already. That's good. We're doing great. But 2 likes and 0 comments. I feel like I could do better. In terms of comments, in my opinion, in terms of live streams and like comments, I do think this channel has seen better days. I haven't exactly pulled Pop Culture Rocks level numbers in terms of viewerships across every platform, and I'm only just live streaming on one platform. But I feel like I've done better in the past, and that I'm probably having issues because I'm streaming earlier than was usual. So that is that. I should try to, in general, in terms of live streams, the best way to help facilitate this expansion on Bluesky and other efforts in expanding MGTOW is to also expand via live streams, because live streams are one of the things I have been neglecting for some time now. For example, until like a certain time ago, you can see that the last real live streams were effectively in 2020. Now that's 6 years ago. Since then, I've basically been going video only, and all the other channels still do live streams to a big degree. And live streams are kind of easier to do than videos. So I believe I need to do as many live streams as I do videos in order to expand our reach. And it's not just my reach that I'm expanding, but it's the reach of all of MGTOW. So that's why it's so crucial. I wonder if anyone has anything to say. No, it's just 2 views. Actually, I'm going to check out to see if the live stream is functioning well, because if not, I'll delete it. I mean, I hope it isn't problematic. Hold on. Live stream should be working. Well, the live stream seems to be working, so that's good. Two viewers, 1 viewers. I'm going to, well, given that the live stream is working, but nobody has said anything, I suggest I'm going to wrap this up soon. So the end takeaway from this is that I'm going to continue expanding on Bluesky. We should continue expanding on Bluesky, and as part of it, we should try to teach the average normie what is and isn't MGTOW, and how to basically improve upon what is already being done in terms of manosphere content, because we can grow. We're not in a position where we're stagnating, even if there are some that want us MGTOWs to be stagnating. But in order to grow, we still need to be getting out there, because only we can make stuff happen. And if MGTOW grows, it grows because we actively do stuff to make it grow. So if we don't get out there, I don't think it'll grow. So that's why I'm suggesting we get out there and also go on Bluesky. I'm also going to leave a link to the Bluesky platform itself, and I'll probably share it here. And I'll also leave links to the Bluesky profile, so that if you're there, you can also follow me, and I can also follow you. So I hope that the expansion will go well. I'm going to leave these up for some time now. So yeah, this is the Bluesky link in general. And this is the link specific to my social media platform. So in terms of that, I feel like I've pretty much said most of what I should be saying on stream. We are expanding, we should continue to expand, and the best way to expand is to give new platforms a chance. With this Bluesky campaign that I'm doing, I will be doing exactly that. And I hope, and I promise that I will do a stream this time next year, if it comes to that, but I will see how much we expanded and if it was worthwhile. But I believe in giving this a chance, and I hope it goes well. Also, in terms of MGTOW content, expect to see more content from me soon in terms of MGTOW and tech, and also expect more live streams. I hope that the effort that we have since the beginning of this year continues, and I'll make sure it does. But in order to not continue rambling on and to keep things straight and in order, I'll basically end the stream here with me signing off. So if you like the stream, like it, follow me on all of my socials, including YouTube, Bluesky, Twitter, MGTOW.tv, Odyssey.com, Rumble, etc. Also join my Discord server if you want. And as Liberation Y once said, my friends, stand with me, live free. Signing off. Hold on, I should end the stream.